Peace and blessings, everyone. What is a sign of jealousy? What is the feeling, and what is the actions of the person who is being jealous? And the reason I ask this, I just found out that one of my friends and one of my old friends and one of my, I guess he'd be considered comrades, one of the guys I served in the Marines with. Just found out that he's actually a minister now, and so his wife has sent myself and my wife some link about. I didn't really read what it's about. It's some nomination process. I guess nominating ministers and preachers for some awards for the things they've done, and so you got to read through the bios of the different people who are put up for the award. So I read this bio and found out in around 2005 that he really started getting into the church. And so as I was reading through his bio, this emotion started going through me. I don't know exactly what I was feeling, and it wasn't like a good feeling. It was sort of like a frustrated feeling, and I had to stop and question ask myself, why am I feeling this way? Because it's saying that he had did all this stuff. He was over in Iraq for a while, and he had led some ministry over there in Iraq. Does some things and do some things here. He's back here in California, down in Vista Oceanside area, do some things there. So it's saying that he had done all this stuff, started stuff, and so I had to examine it. Like, so why am I feeling this way? And I say it's because he seems to be being successful in starting these endeavors. Is that it? And so I really had to question myself. And then I really had to think about it, and I believe ultimately what it was coming down to, what the problem is, if you will, is that I knew it was headed that he was going to be a minister of a Christian denomination, and then at the end they say that he is serving Jesus Christ. And I believe what the feeling that was arising in me is that with my experience and my history here on YouTube and my interactions with Christians, that there was a possibility of a situation arising where I would be in contention with one of my old friends, that I would have to judge his belief in his faith and truth and hold him accountable for the same things that I hold all the other Christians on here and all other people of faith and religion on here, and their lack of truth and belief in love, and that this is another person that I would try to go to and bring forth what it is I believe, what it is I teach and preach, and that it would be somebody else that would not be open to what it is I'm bringing forth. And maybe that's geared towards being self-righteous. I hope not. I hope it's not that. I hope it's because I'm staying focused on truth, and the truth is it speaks to the fact that the United States is a Judeo-Christian society, so it's ran mostly by Christians and anything else. And we look at the state of the society here in the United States. We look at the state of the world, and so it's like just another Christian that's going to fall in line with all the other Christians, and I would have to get in debate about the validity of the Bible and the contradictions and the flaws, and I would have to hear about him justifying and all that. Once again, all that I go through here with other Christians, I will have to go through it with him. And it's like, so it basically be a point once again of contention and division amongst us. And I mean, sure, you can look past those things that you feel are flaws in other people, and especially your friends and family. But we're talking about a war here. We're talking about life and death issues, um, and so we're talking about something highly serious. And so I mean, at some point in time, it's like how long can you stop looking past what you believe are flaws? I mean, how long can you keep putting up with and be friends with people who go counter to your beliefs and who are you believe a detriment to society? I've spoken before about think about the relationships you're in. Think about the acquaintances that you have. Think about your friends. Think about family. Excuse me, and think about how in your interaction with each other that usually both sides, if you differ in your ideologies and your views and religions, how you're always compromising. You're always compromising to do things in everyday life. It's always a compromise. Well, let's not talk about religion and politics. That's the same because it causes arguments. So let's compromise. Let's be friends. Let's talk about sports. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about our kids. Let's not talk about something that might cause an argument. Let's not talk about something that might ultimately be the most important thing that there is in this world. Um, and so I believe that's what I was feeling. That that's what it'd be. That man, another one. So I have to go through his biography. And I would have to pick it apart. Starting the fact that he's a minister now, been since 2005 it says, but he's still in the Marines, so he's still serving this armed forces who doesn't care about people, who kills children and women and old people and innocent people, and he will have to go over there and serve and kill people. And so isn't a contradiction within Christianity itself? You should not kill, and if you can justify it however you want within Christianity, how about the fact you just shouldn't want to kill anyway? And so all that. It's like, man. God bless everyone. Peace and love.